Nathan Zegura here with the 2-minute drill brought to you by University Hospitals. The Browns have concluded their mandatory minicamp today, and the players and coaches will be off for the summer until everyone returns for training camp in late July as this team makes its final preparations and push to get ready for the 2019 season. The action was fast and furious at this minicamp, and I would have to say the Browns offense, with all of its weapons, certainly showed a lot of explosive potential. And one of the biggest highlights, obviously, was Baker Mayfield to Odell Beckham back on the first day of mandatory minicamp for a beautiful touchdown in a red zone drill. But Freddie Kitchens told you, don't be sleeping on this defense. And if I took anything away from this mandatory minicamp, it was that the Browns defense is going to be a force to reckon with. There's just so much speed on this defense now and so much ability up front. You really can see what Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, and Larry Ogunjobi are going to be able to do as arguably one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, and we can't wait to see what they do when the pads come on in training camp. Now, one of the big things that stood out to me was Jermaine Whitehead, the Browns safety acquired from the Green Bay Packers last year, joined the team in the middle of the season, and has really been, I'd say, the star of the offseason, working with the first team for defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Now, the Browns have a lot of versatility in this safety room, as Demarius Randall told me on Cleveland Browns Daily. They have the opportunity to really move these guys around, and Whitehead can play in the box, he can play the nickel, he can cover tight ends, or he can play in the post, just like Randall and Morgan Burnett. So a lot of versatility, and you'll see all three of those guys on the field a lot at the same time. Now, what else stood out? How about this? The battle for the right guard position. We saw Austin Corbett, Eric Kush, and Kyle Kalis all work with the first team in the mandatory minicamp. That's going to be a big battle to watch as the other four offensive line positions are clearly set. Now for the offense, those running backs. We finally got to see Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Duke Johnson working together, and let me say, that's going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses. Now, one name to watch, Ishmael Hyman, a wide receiver that we didn't know much about coming out of James Madison, playing in the AAF with Garrett Gilbert, who's also on the Browns as a backup quarterback right now. And he's come out and really worked a lot with the first team. Now, I know Jarvis Landry didn't practice, and Odell was in and out with the starters in the minicamp, but Ishmael Hyman is a guy who really stepped up. He wears number 16 and definitely a guy to keep an eye on in training camp as he fights to make a spot on this football team. For the latest on your Browns, keep it tuned to clevelandbrowns.com. Check out the Browns mobile app and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can stream Cleveland Browns Daily live and see every episode of the Emmy Award-winning series, Building the Browns. Now, I know you guys want to say, how can I get out here and see this Browns team get forged in the summer fires, as General Manager John Dorsey said at training camp this year? Well, the good news is tickets will become available in late June, and we'll have you covered with that exact date on all of our social media outlets. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the 2-Minute Drill brought to you by University Hospitals.